morning, Annachiara. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Frank. Thanks for having me.
Annachiara, we would like to start getting a short understanding about your project in Egypt. Maybe you give us a short understanding of what is the main focus.
Sure. The Inclusive Green Growth in Egypt project is a project funded generously by SDC and is implemented by UNIDO, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. Together with SDC and Italian cooperation, the project aims at promoting market system changes for a better environment for green MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises.
Why is circular economy in this context now relevant?
Yes, so we are confronted, Egypt, like other countries in the region, and I would say also beyond the region, are confronted with important issues of resource scarcity. Resources are becoming ever more scarce, but also costly, while population is increasing, therefore putting even more stress on those already scarce resources. At the same time, countries like Egypt, with again an ever-growing population, need to secure and ensure access of their growing population to resources. So therefore, energy, water, food security. So that's the main, I think, I will say, issue that we are facing, and that where circular economy can be a key solution. It's also a matter of providing new economic opportunities, new income generation opportunities, new job creation opportunities for rural areas, but also for urban areas, where circular economy, circular business models enable the use of waste, for example, as a resource. So therefore, through that, new products, new solutions can be put in the market.
Yeah. You said it's the scarce resources, also the issue of food security and making use of the opportunities which are coming out of a circular economy perspective. But what are you doing now, just to understand also better, what is the focus of your project?
Okay. So first of all, let me just clarify something. If we think about the circular economy, there are some studies that highlight different cycles within the circular economy. So you have the biological cycles dealing with biological materials and the technical cycle, technical materials. So there we are specifically in this project targeting the biological cycle because we are primarily working in rural areas. That was the most relevant to us, to that context. And in this, we are working with our partners to promote opportunities, so business opportunities, to maximize the value of biological materials and specifically residues, waste. So for example, we're talking about agriculture residues, agro-industrial byproducts, also organic fraction of municipal waste, sludge for wastewater treatment, etc. So we are promoting opportunities to add value to this waste. And how are we doing that? We are promoting these new economic opportunities by supporting all the different value chain actors. So we are working all along the value chain, starting with the primary producers that generate those residues. We are working with entrepreneurs who can produce new products out of that waste, but we're also working, for example, with the providers of machinery for agri-waste recycling. We are also working with financial institutions here in Egypt to develop new financial products for agri-waste. We are also working to develop standards for new products coming out of waste so that they can be put safely in the market and production can be mainstreamed. We are working with relevant ministries to develop national strategies for a just transition to a more circular economy. We are also testing and promoting innovative technologies for bio-waste valorization coupling that with de-risking financial support that will be matched by sources of finance already available in the market.
So you take a very strongly integrated systemic approach, working at the business level with a value chain perspective, working with supporting organizations like standard bodies, but also financial organizations to ensure investment opportunities, but also working with national policy representatives to develop national strategies. So if you're looking at this, let's say, systemic approach, integrated approach, where do you see main challenges really to take this holistic perspective?
So I will mention maybe two main challenges. One, I would say, is definitely access to data, technical data and information on the value chain, on the opportunities within the local value chains. For example, again, if I'm an entrepreneur that is venturing into producing something, a new product out of waste, but if I don't know necessarily where the waste is generated, how much quantities, what are the characteristics of that waste, then it becomes more risky, more challenging to really develop a business model around that. So visibility on resources, on waste, and on the different steps of the value chain and the actors involved is sometimes hindering the realization of circular economy opportunities. And secondly, we were mentioning earlier systemic approach, integrated approach, which means that there are so many different players that are all interrelated and can all contribute to really promote a better transition. But of the linkages, the connections between those different players with relevant mandates are limited or are very weak. So that is, in our experience, also a barrier to really promoting these more integrated solutions.
And I could imagine that it's one of your core activities also to create these communication links, to create this way of coordination on the topic of circular economy and finding better solutions in that respect, if I get it right.
Very true. Yes, so that's definitely part of our work. And I must say also, partners, be them again public or private, from both local regions at the national level, they then realize the value of working together and then take that forward in the daily work. Those connections really establish an important partnerships.
Yeah. When it comes towards your learnings, you have the chance now to provide 2 to 3 recommendations to also the other colleagues who are working on the topic. What would be the 2-3 aspects to promote a circular economy perspective within our private sector development projects?
So yeah, if I have to choose only 3, I would definitely mention, again, reiterate what we have been speaking about, the importance of an integrated systemic approach. That's really fundamental. We often might focus in our projects on only one aspect, be it technology, skills, maybe policy, but the integrated approach is really what makes a difference, and the results that we see confirm that. Secondly, I would mention the fact that we really need locally tailored solutions. Promoting new circular business models requires very context-specific solutions that needs to be, tailored, catering for the specific characteristics, specific needs, specific skills and capacities of the local market actors. Lastly, maybe more on the technical side, I would mention something that we see in different projects, interventions in various developing countries, us included, we are focusing still very much on waste. I was speaking, earlier about residues, how to add value to these residues, etc. But that is in a way too late. So we are still not much addressing, let's say, upstream, the necessity of designing products differently so that resources are saved. Products can be then more easily reused, refurbished, recycled, depending on the type of product. Mm-hmm. So more work on the design of products is also needed across, I think, different programs and interventions.
Very good. With that, I'm thanking you very much that you shared this experience. I'm sure others are also benefiting from them and maybe have open questions to approach you.
Yes, anytime. And thank you, Frank, very much for the opportunity and for this pleasant discussion.